Okay, so what I've actually worked on, disregarding the prior video mess that's going to be. So I have blocked out my police station. As you can see here, when I first showed this off on the Instagram and Twitter, like 2 weeks ago, give or take, it was just this, which I hope you can see my cursor. It was this middle one. And it wasn't even like fully fleshed out. I mean, this isn't, but what I mean is it didn't even have the concept of like tables and lockers and like kind of the general idea of what everything is supposed to be. Because like this middle one right here is supposed to represent this. If I can click on it, this one, with a reception area, first floor offices, break room, restrooms, and everything. And then this one up here that has no nav mesh, which I'll talk about in a minute, is my second floor. Right here with doing the clicking thing again. The chief's office, the second floor offices, meeting room, lockers, and then lastly, my basement with the holding cells, firing range, kennel, armory, all of that in the morgue, and the generator room, which is really important, is this one right here, which I could just go to a lot faster if I double click this. There we go. Yeah. So that's blocked out. So what I need to do now with this is go back, go to the asset store, either get some free assets, purchase some, whatever, and start filling this out and giving this an actual feel, not just this amalgamation of blocks and whatever. That'll be for later, because what's important right now is that I've made mechanics. Somewhat. They're in progress. So let me start playing this. I have a gun. It's probably a little bit loud. I'll have to figure out the noise balancing for that. So, character moves around, jumps, does the whole thing. Most of this I got from a GameDev TV on their first-person shooter tutorial video series. But then I started messing around with it. And, oh man, I'm going to have to anchor that UI. That UI is messed up. Not important. For later. That little 10 on the bottom right that you see right there, which I can probably fix. Actually, no, I can't, because F8 will stop the recording, but it's also what I use to exit the character, so that's not getting fixed. So that little 10 is actually 100 on the bottom right corner. And if I hit C, I use some of that, about 5, to get 10 health. If I press, let's see, fire a little bit more, do a reload. Actually, I'm going to fire a little bit more than that. Reload again. There's a reload animation. You can see like the actual max ammo and the current clip / magazine size in the bottom left. If I hit X, it uses up 10 of that bottom right amount and then gives me ammo for it. So what this is one of the paranormal objects I have in the game, or the conceptual game, is this gun / weapon thing called the ADE, Alternating Dispenser Equipment. And if you insert organic material into it, it fires like plasma bullet type things. If you insert inorganic material from the area where it fires, it gives you back like this tasteless organic paste, which is edible, which you can use for health. So I have half of that done. That bottom right number is organic material, so it would be like food or other things that the player picks up from the environment, and then they can use that to actually resupply themselves with ammo. There's ammo pickups, like not actual like bullets, but material that you can then convert into ammo for the weapon, and then you can just use your healing items, like food or whatever, to then convert into ammo. So that's one of the mechanics I have. It's kind of like the balancing. Oh, there you see one of the AI just ran in. He's patrolling right now. Bye. But yeah, that's one of the mechanics. I need to work on the other half where I grab material that I can use for like inorganic material and then convert it back to edible for health. So that's one of the things. I've worked on these little AI that kind of just patrol around randomly. I need to give them an EQS, an environmental query system, into their logic so that they don't just run into walls and then stare at the wall. Oh, he saw me. But actually understand what their environment looks like. So he's going to just keep following me. I have them turn purple when they see me. And he's just going to keep doing that. Unless I like run away enough, also that those animations need work. But yeah, now that he's lost track of me, he's going to run around unless he sees me again. Oh wow, those animations need a lot of work actually. That blend space is bad. That's for later though. But yeah, so these are my zippies. They're one of the basic enemy types. Essentially, they see you, and you work on their sight. They see you, and they run up to you, but they only do so for like a bit. Let me see. Well, also, they react to sound. So if I do this, come here, buddy. Oh, so that's my tennis ball. It should come back to me in a minute. Once its velocity reaches 0, it actually pops back. Buddy? Hello? I know he's looking for the ball. He probably heard it. There you are. Okay. There's another one running around here, but I'm not sure where he went. Because if I do this, he's going to run over to where he last heard the ball. Yeah. Yeah, he's sticking around that area because he keeps hearing the ball. Oh, there you are, buddy. Hey. Cool, you're both here. So I'm just going to run up over here. They're going to follow, but they zip. So I need to, it's hard to see because the velocity isn't like tuned. But when they're just patrolling, they're supposed to be slower. But they zip around. So essentially, they stop for a moment. They run really fast to their desired location, and then they stop. And then they repeat this process because they're a strange form of kind of zombie thing. I won't go into like story plot details of how they're like people that have been like kind of messed up by this flower thing. Not important right now for the mechanics, but essentially they zip around. I hope I've made that clear. Probably not. But when they see the player, they're going to do it a lot faster. And so they'll zip up to the player and then hit them. And what this is supposed to do is the player can outrun them and you can damage them, but they're going to be in numbers. They're not going to swarm you. You have enough to get away, but they're supposed to kind of chase you. And they're a consistent threat. And I'm going to pair them up with another enemy type that I need to implement called the flat tops. So the flat tops kind of sit in place unless you sprint past them. Then they become active. They sit dormant until you move around at a sprinting pace. Then they become active. At that point, they start patrolling. If a flat top sees you, it's going to run up to you and give you a command. It'll tell you to stop moving, to walk backwards, jump, put away your weapon, move left or right, whatever. If you abide by the order, then it'll be on its way, and it'll be harmless to you for a set amount of time until it sees you again. The trick with them is that if you encounter multiple of them at the same time, they might give you contradictory orders. So one of them might tell you to stop, and one of them might tell you to move, which will cause one of them to get upset. Excuse me. And if one flat top gets upset, any other flat top within its vicinity is also going to get upset with you. So they all become aggressive. And they'll start attacking you. So ideally what the player wants to do is not even get them out of the dormant state, but that's difficult because if a zippy sees you, it's going to start chasing you. And either you gun it down, or get out of its sight, or run away. If you choose to run away, then you might trigger a flat top, and then that can cascade into a whole sequence of events. The saving grace of it can be that the flat tops are actually aggressive towards the zippies. The zippies are aggressive to almost anything, but some of these enemies won't like each other. So if you can get them to stop paying attention to you, the flat tops and the zippies might try to deal with each other a little bit. That's just two of the enemy types I have planned out. I'm not going to talk about the other ones right now. I might just need to make like a separate little video just talking about AI, but I'm just trying to give a general overview. This is why this is so rushed, and also I'm bad at recording. Practice though. So yeah, these are the two little AIs I'm going to have planned out. The flat tops need work. I have a general layout for them right now, but they're not ready to be shown off. I mean, these guys aren't really fully ready to be shown off either, because I need to give them like an actual model and then give them like an attack, because they can't hurt me right now. They just run up to me to attack me. But we're going to get to that. The last little mechanic that I've worked on, and again, I feel bad because I haven't worked on this as much as I would like to, but we're still working on it, and that's important. So back to it. The last mechanic I have is this little tennis ball. So again, I'm going to skim over like the lore plot details. So this tennis ball is kind of like an actual living organism that behaves almost like a dog. And as is like the commonality, throw a ball, dog goes and catches it, brings it back. The way this one works is you throw the ball and it catches you. So toss it out, right click, and I teleport to it. You can use it to distract enemies, as I showed off a little bit ago, where if they hear this ball, they're going to run to the last location they heard it. If its velocity reaches 0, then it comes back to you. What I want it to do when it comes back, though, is I want it to bark, almost, as like an audio indication, and also it just kind of like fits the theme of what I'm trying to do with it. But yeah, right now, this is kind of like a not great Dishonored Blink, but it's not supposed to be as good as it, but it also just needs like visual and like visual work and like some upkeep. But yeah, the way it's supposed to work is it bounces around, and the way like a Dishonored Blink would work is you actually see the location where you're dropping. This one, not necessarily. You can toss it around, and it's going to go somewhere, wherever the physics take it. And then when you want to go to it, then you right-click and you teleport to it. I might add some little visual indicators so that you can see it through walls. That might be a balancing thing. Oh, did the velocity really stop there? There we go. Oh, hey, buddy. But yeah. Then I'm also going to have to work on it, because you can basically fly with this. So I'm going to have to work on that, because yeah, I could just... I can get up there, and I fell through. Oh, look at all these errors with, yeah, the reload animation is having some issues. But yeah, so, loud sound. That's what I have so far. I think I made something else, but I don't remember right now. Yeah, I have my little AI running around. They need work. I have my teleportation, also needs work. I have my UI, that needs a lot of work. And then I need to add assets, because these are supposed to be tables for like a break room. These over here are like, wrong direction. These over here are like little cubicles. That's a front desk. This is a, this is a front desk. This is like a little archive room / like a room where they keep files for when people walk in the police station. The front desk person can go and like bring out files or whatever, or like, yeah, stuff like that. It's supposed to have a degree of believability, that like you can see what this environment is supposed to be. But again, assets will help a lot with that. But we'll get there. That's later on in priority. Right now, my first step is I want to make sure I have the core mechanics I need down. then start polishing those, and at the same time I can also balance out adding the mechanics and like switching out these blocks for actual, I'm sorry, not mechanics, the models and the environment. I can switch out these like little blocks for like actual models and textures and everything. And then I'm gonna put the 3 floors together and make sure that like I can actually go through all of them. The lighting I'm gonna have to work on for a bit, and then make sure my AI are patrolling properly, put them on all the locations I want them, have my collectibles and everything. Yeah, that's the plan for this right now. And then the last thing I want to talk about is kind of like the level structure of it, like the actual plan for how this level is supposed to progress.